General Hospital.
Life in Port Charles has always been unpredictable, but there are moments when several lives change at once. What begins as an ordinary day soon becomes a series of emotional decisions, unexpected confrontations, and difficult choices that leave everyone wondering what comes next. For Nina, everything seems perfectly normal at first. She throws herself into work, hoping to leave recent disappointments behind and focus on rebuilding the relationships that matter most. She knows trust takes time to repair, and for the first time in months, she believes she may finally be making progress. That hope doesn't last long. An unexpected phone call interrupts her day. The caller refuses to identify themselves, offering only a brief warning before hanging up. The message is simple but unsettling. If you want the truth, don't ignore what's happening around Carly. The mysterious warning immediately captures Nina's attention. At first, she assumes someone is trying to manipulate her into another unnecessary conflict. She has learned the hard way that rumors rarely lead anywhere good. Still, something about the caller's tone refuses to leave her mind. Rather than confronting Carly directly, Nina quietly begins paying attention to small details she would normally overlook. She notices unfamiliar faces appearing around places Carly regularly visits. Several conversations suddenly stop whenever she walks into a room. Even long-time acquaintances seem unusually nervous. None of it makes sense. Across town, Carly is dealing with challenges of her own. She has recently noticed someone carefully observing her movements. It isn't obvious enough to alarm anyone else, but after several days, she realizes the pattern isn't a coincidence. The same vehicle appears near different locations. The same unfamiliar individual seems to be present whenever she leaves important meetings. Someone is watching. Instead of reacting emotionally, Carly decides to stay calm. Experience has taught her that revealing suspicion too early often benefits the person hiding in the shadows. She quietly changes her daily routine while sharing her concerns with only a small circle of trusted friends. Meanwhile, a mysterious newcomer known simply as Z arrives in Port Charles. Very little is known about him. Some believe he is a businessman searching for new opportunities. Others suspect his arrival connects with unfinished business involving several influential families. No one can agree why he has come to town. Unlike most newcomers, Z doesn't waste time introducing himself. Instead, he carefully studies the people around him. He watches conversations without participating. He asks questions that seem ordinary but reveal far more than expected. Most importantly, he becomes unusually interested in Carly. His repeated attempts to arrange meetings quickly attract attention. Some interpret his behavior as harmless curiosity. Others believe something much more strategic is taking place. Jason notices the pattern almost immediately. Although he cannot identify Z's intentions, he advises Carly to remain cautious until they learn more about him. Carly agrees, but refuses to allow fear to dictate her decisions. She meets Z in a public setting, determined to discover why he has focused so much attention on her. The conversation begins politely. Z compliments Carly's resilience and reputation for overcoming difficult situations. He claims he admires her ability to adapt when circumstances become unpredictable. At first, the discussion appears harmless. Then, Z unexpectedly hints that he possesses information connected to recent unexplained events in Port Charles. Carly immediately realizes this meeting isn't accidental. Z isn't interested in casual conversation. He's testing her. Rather than revealing everything, Z offers only fragments of information, suggesting that several people have unknowingly become part of a much larger situation. Before Carly can press for answers, Z quietly leaves.
His mysterious behavior creates even more questions than before. Elsewhere, Jocelyn has been conducting an investigation of her own. She recently noticed unusual financial records connected to a series of abandoned properties throughout Port Charles. The transactions seem ordinary until she discovers the same names appearing repeatedly despite using different companies. Recognizing that something bigger may be unfolding, she begins organizing everything she has found. Unfortunately, she soon realizes she cannot handle the situation alone. She asks for an urgent meeting with Carly. When they finally sit down together, Jocelyn explains everything she has uncovered. The records point toward a hidden network of people quietly acquiring locations throughout the city for reasons that remain unclear. Although no laws appear to have been broken, the pattern suggests careful long-term planning. Immediately, Carly understands why Jocelyn was so concerned. These discoveries connect surprisingly well with everything Z hinted during their conversation. Across town, Nina continues searching for answers. Her investigation eventually leads her to a forgotten storage facility, where she unexpectedly finds documents connected to several recent events. Most of the files contain ordinary business information. One folder, however, immediately stands out.
Inside are photographs, schedules, handwritten notes, and maps highlighting places connected to Carly, Jocelyn, and several other familiar faces. The discovery leaves Nina stunned. Someone has been collecting information for months. Unsure whom she can trust, Nina immediately contacts Carly. Despite their complicated history, she understands that keeping the discovery secret would only make the situation more dangerous. Their meeting is understandably tense. Old disagreements still linger beneath the surface. Yet, as Nina presents everything she found, those differences quickly become less important. The evidence speaks for itself. Someone has been quietly preparing for something significant. Jason and Anna soon join the discussion. Working together, they begin comparing Nina's documents with Jocelyn's financial research. To everyone's surprise, the two investigations fit together perfectly. The abandoned properties correspond to the same locations appearing in Nina's photographs. The financial records match names found inside the recovered documents. Piece by piece, the larger picture begins taking shape. Rather than targeting one individual, the unknown organizers appear interested in controlling key locations throughout Port Charles, while carefully monitoring several influential residents. The realization changes everything. What initially seemed like unrelated mysteries suddenly become parts of the same puzzle. As everyone works to understand the full scope of the situation, Z makes another unexpected appearance. This time, he doesn't arrive with vague hints. Instead, he quietly admits that he became aware of the operation months earlier, but lacked enough evidence to expose it alone. He believed Jocelyn possessed the determination necessary to uncover the truth. His earlier conversations had been designed to encourage Jocelyn's investigation without placing her directly in danger. Although some remain skeptical of his explanation, the information he provides helps investigators identify one final location connected to the network. The group immediately heads there. Inside, they discovered abandoned equipment, communication devices, and records suggesting the operation had recently been shut down. Whoever organized everything left only hours earlier. Despite missing those responsible, the recovered evidence provides investigators with valuable leads that promise to continue the investigation. For Nina, the experience becomes deeply personal. She realizes how close she came to ignoring the anonymous phone call that first set everything in motion. Had she dismissed the phone call, critical evidence might never have been discovered. For Carly, the events reinforce an important lesson. Sometimes the people least expected to work together become the strongest allies when circumstances demand it. Jocelyn also gains a new appreciation for trusting her instincts. What began as simple curiosity about unusual financial records
ultimately helped reveal a much larger mystery. As Port Charles slowly returns to normal, many questions remain unanswered. Who originally organized the secret operation? Why were Carly and several others being watched? Was Z telling the complete truth about his involvement, or does he still know more than he had admitted? Only time will reveal those answers. One thing, however, is already certain. The events have permanently changed the relationships between everyone involved. Old rivalries have softened, unexpected partnerships have formed, and people who once struggled to trust each other have discovered that cooperation often accomplishes what conflict never could. Life in Port Charles rarely stays peaceful for long. Every solved mystery creates another question waiting to be answered. Every ending quietly opens the door to another beginning. As new challenges continue appearing on the horizon, Nina, Carly, Jocelyn, and the people closest to them understand that whatever comes next, they will face it with greater wisdom, stronger friendships, and a renewed determination to protect the place they call home. If you enjoyed this original General Hospital-inspired fanfiction story, share your thoughts in the comments. What do you think Z's true intentions are? Will Nina and Carly continue working together, or will old tensions return? Don't forget to like the video, subscribe for more original General Hospital-inspired fan stories, and let us know what you think should happen next in Port Charles.